Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Random Review Series. DBougie86 here again. Now, the film I got for you guys today is a film from that was released recently from Scream Factory, and it was one I was really interested in when they first announced it. And it goes by the title of Bite. Yes. This film is directed by Chad Archibald, who is the guy who actually owns Black Fawn Distribution in Canada. They release a lot of cool, interesting cult titles up there on that label. They release Horsehead up there, and they're also releasing this film up there, I believe, next month, which is cool for the Canadian peeps who don't really import a lot of Scream Factory stuff. But yeah, getting into the plot of this one, we're introduced to our main character of Casey, who's a young girl who's actually about to get married. Her and her friends decide to go on this island vacation sort of deal before she gets married to celebrate her marriage. And what ends up happening is they end up going to this hot spring area of this island, and she ends up getting bitten by something. She doesn't know what it was, and she's throws it out of the water it's just a bug bite. And then they end up going back home, and we find out a lot of interesting character development about her character. She's having cold feet about getting through the marriage. Her and her future mother-in-law don't really get along, and then what ends up happening is a lot of strange things starts happening. She starts getting sick. She ends up waking up in tubs, fully submerged. Then a lot of strange things start happening around the bite area. What ends up happening, what she ends up figuring out, she's actually mutating into an insect. This bug bite actually starts to change her body, and crazy things start happening around her and to her. That's pretty much the main plot of the film without giving more away about the ending of it. Now, my thoughts on it, going into it, the way they handled this film kind of was David Cronenberg's The Fly in a way mixed with Roman Polanski's Repulsion, because most of the film does take place in her apartment and the surrounding apartments in this complex that she lives in. Now, I really did dig that about the film. It's not a full-blown over-the-top type film. It's very subtle, and there's a few characters, and I think that works well with this type of story because we've seen it done before in David Cronenberg's The Fly, and a lot of those Polanski films also, that Repulsion. Yeah, this one doesn't goes over the top or I like how it's set in this one area is all I'm saying. Chad Archibald as a director, I've seen a few of his films before. I had mixed feelings on them. This one is definitely his best film that I've seen to date. It's really well done. I really did like the cast. The main girl, Elma Begovic, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, does a really great job as Casey, because most of the time her character goes through a lot of prosthetic effects additions to it, which we saw with Jeff Goldblum in The Fly and stuff. So it was really well done, and I do admire actors who go that extra mile to act in prosthetics. The rest of the cast, a few shaky performances. The guy who plays her fiance, he's a little shaky in some scenes, just my opinion, but for the most part they do well in their roles and they get the story done. The effects are really good. I think there is a mix of CGI and practical in this, because they do show insects in this film, and they do look like they are CGI'd insects, which is hit and miss with me. I don't mind CGI at all, but when it's actual living things, I don't know if they designed the insect by themselves, because it's supposed to be a rare insect. But other than that, the practical effects do look great, especially the ending of it is fucking awesome. And there's a lot of great blood and even some melting scenes. Non-spoiler alert, I won't tell you who it is. But yeah, I really did dig this film. It's just a fucking blast to watch, and I really did like the characters and the outcome of the characters' stories. Yeah, if I had to rate Bite, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a very interesting watch. If you are a fan of like body horror films and other films like this, you'll love this one. If you want to know about this release, it has an audio commentary with Chad Archibald, which is really informative. I actually did watch it with the commentary also. And it has 5 documentaries on it. They're all like, not the longest documentaries. They're like, because it's probably just all one documentary that they split up into 5 parts. But they're all very informative. I really like the behind the makeup effects one. That's probably my favorite one, because it goes in to see which were effects that were practical and stuff. But yeah, I do recommend this if you're a fan of like these type of films. This was one that I really dug, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. So if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and comment as always. And as always, I'll be back soon with another video for you guys. So peace out.